Welcome back to Pipeline Profits. This is the podcast where we discuss everything sales and marketing when it comes to real estate. And we got a bit of a different episode for you guys today. I'm actually pretty excited. We're going to talk about a hot topic in real estate. This is a hot take. I think most real estate agents have seen at least one of the 7 of these things, which I didn't realize there were 7 of them. But today we are talking about selling sunset.
Damn.
There's some juicy ass gossip. There's some juicy ass stuff that happened in this last season. I was mistaken because I thought that there were only 3 seasons. So that's kind of how outdated I was with this. I was like, oh yeah, the 3rd season. I just watched the 3rd season. Everyone's like, there's 7 of them.
There's 7 of them.
I think most real estate agents have seen at least the first one though, eh? What do you think?
Yeah, I think most realtors would have at least seen the first season. And some for me, it's it's hilarious. So how can you not watch it? First off, I think this season they did a better job than in others of actually showing off real estate I feel like it started with them showing off a lot of real estate in Beverly Hills and West Hollywood. And then it kind of took a dip and became just super about the drama. And you barely saw any real estate. I feel like they did a better job this season, and maybe 6 as well, of showing off some of the real estate in LA. So that aspect was cool. And I think anyone some of the houses were insane.
Amazing problem.
Yeah, insane.
Hold on. We need to put a disclaimer in here quickly before I forget. We're going to talk about the most recent season. So if you haven't seen it, just want to give you a quick heads up in case we drop some information that you're not prepared for. But we are going to talk about the full season. Ryan's yet to see the, what's it called?
The reunion.
The reunion where the cast comes together. I saw it. I thought it was pretty dramatic. I think you should definitely check it out. But just a disclaimer for anybody who's listening or watching, we're definitely talking about what happened for the full season.
Yeah, there will be some tea leaked. But I mean, some of the houses this season were crazy. The level of money there and the level of wealth. The crazy thing to think is LA actually trades at a very similar valuation as Toronto, as our home base.
Yeah.
But I think the big difference is maybe our low end is not as low, but our high end definitely ain't as high. Sure we still have the bridle path and you got Drake's house and so on and so forth. But in terms of views and scenery and landscape and all of that stuff, Toronto can't hold a candle to what else.
I mean, I think the one area that we have that would be, I don't want to say comparable, but I would say that could level the playing field a little bit is maybe the cottages in Muskoka, because you can get the beautiful scenery and overlooking the water and stuff like that. It's completely different. It's a completely different vibe, but that's probably the only market where I think that we hold something similar in terms of that real wow factor, walking in and being holy shit, this is blowing my mind.
But that's just them rolling up to Malibu. or flying, as we saw in this season, flying down to Cabo.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, you want to know what I thought was crazy? So when I finished the reunion and we just the TV was just playing, I guess on Netflix it automatically starts the same show from the first season again. So I'm just sitting in the living room with Vic, and all of a sudden the first season starts playing again. And in the very first episode, Jason said at that time they were doing $250 million a year in sales, which I was like, that's not even that crazy. We know so many team leaders and teams that are doing that type of volume. Obviously, we have to do more trades because our average purchase price is typically lower. But I just thought it was insane to think that a team that was doing $250 million in sales volume, that comes out to just above $6 million in GCI. It's not that crazy. Gets a TV show. Yeah,
no, I mean, I think the TV show was, once again, we're talking about marketing here. It's not about sales.
No,
right?
Sure.
It's about marketing. And I think obviously Jason and Brett were in the right market to launch the model that they've launched of, especially in LA specifically, it's all females working in there that are, look like models, I guess.
Well, funnily enough, it's not. It's actually not. So when they launched,
how many agents do they actually have?
I don't know how many agents they actually have, but when the first season actually launched, I was at Grant Cardone's 10X conference, and Graham Stephan stayed in our Airbnb with us. And Graham was actually on the first season of Selling Sunset, right? So he gave us some insight that, like, well, obviously it's, you know, it's very attractive females that are going to be the highlight of the show, and that continue down the trend for like the storyline. But it's my understanding that they have a ton of other agents in the office. They're just not like characters or stars of the show.
Of the show, they don't
definitely big
at all.
Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, you know, like their spin-off show, Selling the OC. There's obviously quite a few guys in that show as well, and it's I find that one's a little bit more about selling real estate.
Yeah.
You know, and like a little bit more of like the cutthroat and the backstabbing that goes on in actually selling real estate, whereas Selling Sunset is just straight up the like cutthroat and backstabbing of a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And just like drama of a reality TV show. So like, obviously from a marketing standpoint, like Brett and Jason, the Oppenheims have hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
From a sales side, who in there do you actually think on the show actually sells real estate that's not handed to them by Brett and Jason?
Chelsea, I think.
Chelsea, 100%. Chelsea definitely sells real estate.
Yeah, I think Chelsea actually hustles. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think that she's like, she really does give a shit about how much money she makes and like putting deals on the board and stuff like that. I think Brie obviously does her own deals, but I think she maybe does like 2 deals a year, but they're big.
If even, because like they kind of leaked on the show that she like hadn't put anything on the board, right? Like on the last episode, they're like ring the bell for the first time on selling a listing that Jason and Brett gave her, right?
Yeah, and she was pissed about it too, right?
Yeah, so I think like she has a lot of relationships because of like her celebrity relationship with Nick, and you know, other athletes through her relationship with Johnny Manziel back in the day.
Yeah,
but like I don't know how often those relationships come to fruition. I think like that lady Nicole. Yeah. I think she likes. I think she does some sales. I mean, but then they never showed her doing any sales on the show. Like, who do they actually show doing deals on the show? Chelsea, Chrishell, who still doesn't even do that much.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we're this is pure speculation. We could be wrong. It's just based on what's shown on the show, but it doesn't look like anybody really does that much business. So that's what makes me think it's either like Jason and Brett are carrying the bulk of the transaction weight that happens on the team. Or there's other people that are not showcased on the show that contribute to the bottom line of the team, but they're just not necessarily like characters in the show. They're just they're not TV personalities, or whether it's for personal reasons they don't want to be on the show, or whether it's like they're just not a good fit for TV and they don't think that they're going to get ratings. So like my question to you is, if none of these salespeople actually sell much, how the hell do they afford, like, and I'm going to bring up a prime example, Amanza. Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's ever sold anything in her career. You know, she was
she sold something at some point, but I don't think she does a ton of trades.
So she was like their stager / designer, and then got her license, if you remember back.
True.
But they showed her showing a house this year. But like that was the first time they've ever showed her with a client. Now maybe it's like their clients don't want to be shown on TV and don't agree.
Yeah.
But I feel like she's always like the tag along. But like, how does someone who's like that, who doesn't really make a lot of money, like the outfits?
I think their outfits got to be given by designers. No,
I don't know, because like
think about it. If I'm a designer and I know that these girls wear like crazy eccentric outfits, and that's a part of it. Like they don't want to wear the same outfit twice or whatever it happens to be. If I'm a designer, you bet your ass I'm going to give them something to wear.
I guess,
at least for the show.
It's all, it's going to get a ton of views.
Yeah, like her bag was hilarious. I think her bag.
The basketball?
The basketball one's crazy too. That was insane. I was like,
she was like, I thought it was a purse, but it's just a basketball.
I was like, that's actually the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's just a basketball being
Just
carried
carrying
around.
around a basketball in a gold basket, like a gold chain basket.
It was crazy, man. When I saw that and she said it was just a basketball, I was like, I have never worn, like, don't get me wrong, I like accessories. I got earrings and like a necklace and stuff. But to carry around a full-on basketball in chains, I love that. It's too good. But her other bag that said "Tell the Truth," I was like, damn, this is a pot-stirring bag for sure.
100%. I mean, like, listen, who do you think on the show? All right, let's do 3 categories and we'll each give our input. So, like, best dressed,
Yeah.
worst dressed, outfit of the year.
Ooh, outfit of the year?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not really like a fashionista, but I'm just gonna give my opinion. My favorite outfits, whether it's best dressed or not, Amanza. Crazy as shit. Crazy as shit.
Yeah, always. And she's the one that doesn't do any business, but she's always got the craziest shit.
I know. She like when I see her outfits, I was like, whoa, this chick's knocking it out of the park.
But she pulls it off. She pulls them all.
Worst dressed? I don't really think there's a worst dressed. I think Nicole, I don't want to say worst dressed. I just think that she's like the most conservative, like she doesn't wear like crazy shit. But I will say the worst outfit of the season. I think, this is me personally, Chelsea wore this like checkered suit that had like one leg with like a bell bottom type of thing on the bottom, and then no arm and a full sleeve arm. And I was just like, what is this chick wearing? This is the craziest outfit I've ever seen. I wasn't personally a fan. Okay.
I don't remember that one, but she's for me worst dressed. Like she wears some, hands down.
That outfit was nuts.
Like she is hands down the worst dressed. Like like, listen, I'll give it to her. She's trying to be a fashionista, but like she rocks some shit that I'm just like, that just looks, half of it looks like you could buy it. Like, do you remember Stitches back in the day?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Half the shit looks like it's like from Stitches, but you know it's designer, right? Like you know it's crazy expensive.
Oh yeah.
But like that one denim outfit that she wore, that was like totally like, it looked like it was $5, but I'm sure it was like $500,000. To me, she is too ridiculous. Like every event, her shit looks like it's straight up lingerie. She's too over the top. I agree with you. Best dress is Amanza. Like I think she brings the fire and pulls it off.
What was your outfit that you liked that Amanza wore the most?
Oh shit.
I gotta go with like that red. I don't even know what it was. There was like this red dress that she wore that was like crazy. It had these big ass shoulders on it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I liked it. Do you ever play Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that one guy in Mortal Kombat, and I was like, this is some crazy next level shit to wear. And I think it was to like an open house or something, or they did that party at that like very significantly like it had like the significant like architectural design, and it was being donated. Remember the guy donating the property? That was an amazing property. Like wow, and it had that massive club in the basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think they had their team party. I think that's where she wore that thing. It's like their 10-year team party. I was like, oh man, she showed up in like a Mortal Kombat outfit. That was cool.
So yeah, for me, Amanza best dressed, Chelsea worst dressed. No. I actually don't want to give Chelsea worst dressed because she tries and she did pull off a few fire.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't give them too much heat because they do try new stuff.
I'm just gonna give that worst outfit of the season, but she's not worst dressed. I hate that denim outfit because it looked just so cheap.
Yeah.
For me, worst dressed was probably Brie because I felt like she just like had her go-to like 80s power shoulder oversized suits all the time, and like so I just got kind of bored of it because like that's what she was just always in. And then even like her outfits for going out, it was just like always a dress with a cutoff that showed like her legs or her hips.
Oh, I'll give you worst dress, just not from season 7. You want to see worst dress? Chrishell, season 1.
Oh yeah.
I was like, but talk about the glow up because Chrishell actually has amazing style now.
Because you got to remember, Chrishell season 1 was like a failed actress from the Valley, right? Like you got to remember the whole, like she was a failed actress going through a divorce from a famous actor from the Valley. So like she didn't have like the rich husband, like
she did, but her husband left her, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
That was crazy too for that to be broadcasted publicly.
I know.
That would hurt.
So obviously, like, that brings like to the drama, right? And I gotta say, like, I don't know how Chrishell always has so much fucking drama.
This chick's in the heart of the drama all the time.
All the time.
I don't get
Bro, dude, like, I just don't get it, like, how she lives there. Like, it's been 7 seasons, and she is always, like, like, this season, they even tried to make the drama be elsewhere for a little bit, and Chrishell still finds her way back into the center of it.
I know, but, like, there's a part of me that I feel like, maybe it's because I haven't watched all the seasons, right? So to me, I think it's wild because I saw Chrishell on season 1, and she's, like, this very, like, meek, like, hardworking chick who, like, comes into the show, and she's just, like, putting in work and, like, wants to, like, stay in her own lane and all this. And then fast forward to season 7, and I'm like, how is this, like, how is she the center of all this drama? I don't understand how she went from, like, it seemed like a nice, like, girl who grew up on, like, a farm or something to the center of, like, the attention from everybody and having beef with literally everyone.
I think, like, part of her maturation into a celebrity was the beef with Christine.
Oh, Christine.
That's like,
Christine.
That's the OG beef, right? The OG beef was Christine and Chrishell.
It was like Christine got removed from the show and Chrishell took over Christine's spot, but she's not as much of, like,
she's not as bad a bitch.
Villain like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, she's not a good villain. So she, like, I just, like, by the end of this season, I was like, yo, this chick's crazy.
You think she's crazy?
Oh, yeah, straight up.
Why do you think that she's the one? Do you think that she has, because she has the most followers and stuff like that? Like, she has the biggest, like, she has the biggest, I guess, fan base and or hater base. I don't know, but she has the most social clout, I guess, of all of them, right? So why do you think that is, though? Is it because she causes the drama? Because I think she's, like, surpassing most of them by, like, 1.5 million followers, which is, like, a fairly significant gap between her and, like, the next closest person.
Well, I think, like, they did a really good job depicting her as, like, the innocent one in the whole Christine beef, and she probably was, from, like, what I saw. But then I think and this is probably why she's always in the drama, is she realized that made her the focus of the show.
Ooh,
and so
that's a juicy twist, man. I like
it. So I really feel like the whole Amanza drama at the end of this season, like, taking away the design job and stuff, like, she just straight up did that. Like, sure, was Amanza's video message, hey guys, you want some training on how to send good video messages that don't end relationships?
Go check out our other videos.
I think, you know, like, that whole Amanza thing of, like, she just took it to the next level to kind of because you remember end of last season, it was like her beef with Nicole.
Who? Amanza?
Chrishell's.
Okay, I don't know if I watched last season. That's
okay. So it was
on that.
So Chrishell had a beef with Nicole.
They still got a beef,
right? And it carried into this season, but it kind of fizzled out a little bit midway through the season. And I feel like Chrishell started the beef with Amanza just because she's like, I need a new beef to get myself back to being.
But Amanza sent her a drunk video, though. She shouldn't have said.
Yeah, but, like, okay, they said they were best friends. They said they were best friends. If your best friend, who you know is like, okay, Chrishell's obviously financially okay. Like, she's got the most followers. She's been on other TV shows. Yeah. She probably gets paid the most because they all get paid a different amount depending on how long they've been on the show, you know, how much screen time they get, etc.
Yeah.
So she's probably paid the most. You know, do you think, like, if she doesn't just want to cause drama, that she's taking away, we established Amanza doesn't sell any real estate. You know, she has this design job from G-Flip, from Chrishell's wife.
Yeah.
Do you think if she's not, like, a shit disturber and just wants drama for the sake of drama, she's actually taking that away over a drunk text?
Yeah.
As a good human being.
Power move. It definitely was a power move. It's true. I hear what you're saying, that, like,
or
she over leveraged what is considered your best friend. Like, if I was in a situation where it was one of my best friends and I knew that they were financially dependent on a job that I was hiring them for sure I would think twice about being, like, you know, overreactive in terms of, like, redacting the offer from them. However, if my friend sent me a drunk text and put me on blast and made me look like an asshole, I definitely would not be too thrilled about it.
Yeah, 100%. But, like, are you, like, you know, pretty much it looked like the relationship was over until the last episode. So like, I just feel like, or do you think, hey, that was all made up just for the show? Like,
no, you got to watch the reunion. You'll know it's not made up. It gets real juicy in the reunion. I also am saying you got to watch it. Like, I want to say so many things right now, but I don't want to ruin the reunion.
Listen, I don't really care. You can ruin it for me.
So they had mad drama. They had mad drama after the show. And Chrishell offered, what's the other girl's name again? Amanda. Yeah, she offered her $5,000 for the job. And then Amanda was like, you know, felt disrespected by the fact that she offered her $5,000 because she said that she had put in like $12,000 worth of work. So then there was all this drama. They kind of like made up in the middle of the reunion, but it did showcase that like Chrishell offered some money. The amount of money that Amanda felt that Chrishell offered her was like, you know, a slap in the face, basically. However, I believe she accepted the money, right? But she accepted the money though. She did accept the $5,000. So I do think that your point of like her not making that much money is true because
100%.
she did accept the $5,000 even though she felt that it wasn't.
Who's accepting $5,000 on national TV when they think it's like 60% of what they should be paid if they're not hurting, right? And that's why, like, I'm curious, like, do you know how much money they get paid per episode? Like, I know Christine, when Christine was the center of the show, made a killing,
like
right?
How much money they make to be on a TV show?
Like, I think Christine was getting paid like $500,000 an episode.
What?
Yeah, but it scales down huge. I'm gonna Google this.
No wonder they want to be on the show then if they're doing no deal. My marketing brain was like, oh, this is exceptional exposure for them to get new clients.
No, which is not true. Like, that's why most of them don't care. They make way more being on the show.
Wow, damn. I need to do some more research. That's crazy. Even if they made $100,000 to be on the show, though, like they get free outfits. How much are they making?
Oh, this is talking about how much Chrishell made when she was on soap operas. Hold on a second.
How much did she make on a soap opera though? $10?
It's $300, $500 per episode. And if you have regular appearances, $3,000 per episode to be on.
$3,000 per episode is not bad.
To be on a soap opera. 500 is nothing though.
500 would be tough to make a living. Live in LA.
Okay, I just found Cosmopolitan. Whoa, Chrishell Strauss from Selling Sunset makes so much money. And this is from 2022. Let's see what it says she makes.
The market was good. Now the market sucks. They're not selling any real estate. We got to get into this luxury home tax too.
So she only sold a total of $15.8 million during seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Selling Sunset, which brings her commission.
Together?
That's what it's saying. A lot. Well, what's 3% of 15.8 is not $450,000, and she's probably giving them half.
Well, they said that they got a 70-30 split or 50-50 depending on lead source.
Right.
So yeah, $450,000. So yeah, she made $200,000 in 3 years.
No, that's wrong. Then here it says she makes $1 million in commissions by the end of year 1 alone.
Pretty good.
Tell me how much. I can't find how much they make per episode.
That's crazy. I didn't know that they got paid that much to just be on the show. This is how much I know about Hollywood and TV. I was just assuming that they were getting exposure. Hey, we haven't talked about Emma. What do you think about this girl's empanadas? Would you try one?
I haven't tried one, but I mean, obviously they must be good empanadas if she's got a private jet.
Well, she could afford to rent a private jet to go from LA to Cabo. How much do you think that costs? It can't be that much, like $15,000 max.
Yeah, probably $15,000.
So,
and it was probably sponsorship.
Could be sponsorship, whatever. I'm not saying that, like, obviously throwing away $15,000. I'm not saying like that's nothing. I'm just saying she doesn't have a private jet, and the private jet that they took was like, how long is it from LA to Cabo? An hour?
Yeah, an hour. And usually I think a private jet's about $7,000 an hour. So
there you go.
And like you can get discounts if they're going down to pick somebody up and they're empty on the way down.
Yeah, the empty legs or whatever, right?
Yeah, it could have been.
What's this? Oh, they have to. Oh, this is good. This is juicy.
What?
This is all the rules you didn't know the cast of Selling Sunset has to follow.
Okay.
And again, this is on Women's Health Magazine for a source reference here. So this is not coming straight from this horse's mouth. It's coming from the computer. Cast members sign away their rights to sue when they join the show.
Okay.
So after a heated on-screen fight in which Chrishell told castmate Nicole that she was acting a little cracked out. What? That's fucking ridiculous. Fans suggested that Chrishell's public accusation could land her in legal trouble, but it seems like Chrishell isn't worried. We signed away rights to sue when we signed to do the show. That's crazy. The second thing is preseason meetings with producers. Okay, that seems reasonable. Producers may cut something that they deem unfit for TV. That's fair. I don't know how much they would deem unfit for TV. It seems like they're willing to put a lot of stuff out there, all the juicy stuff. Production doesn't pay for the extravagant outfits. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's gifted to them by designers, 100%.
It says, I'm not going to name names, but some girls will pay $5,000 to $10,000 for a custom-made outfit. But we're in Hollywood, so there's access to a lot of rental outfits.
So I found some net worths. So Chrishell is number one, worth $6 million. Mary, it says, is worth $1 to $2 million. Heather, who wasn't really in this season.
I like Heather. What happened to Heather? Is she off the show now? Is she pregnant?
No, she just had a baby. She just had her baby, so that's why. So I think she's being private. It says she's worth $3 million.
She's worth a lot more. Her husband does those.
Her husband's worth 15.
I was gonna say her husband does all those like conferences to do like flipping houses and stuff, right?
Yeah, her husband's worth 15.
Yeah.
It says Chelsea is worth over 500,000, but I think her husband's worth a lot.
Okay, I have to say, sickest car in the entire show.
The baby blue G-Wagon.
G-Wagon hits so hard. I love it. That's like a grail car for sure. I don't think you go with a sicker car than that. Love it.
So it says Amanza has a net worth of $1 million.
But wasn't Amanza was married to like a professional
athlete,
football player, right? Was it?
Yeah. And it says Bree actually has the second biggest net worth, $6 million.
$6 million. Damn. Well, she has dated some fairly sizable celebrities, so I'm sure she has. That's the thing, is I'm sure she actually has an amazing clientele base. She just seems like a very difficult person to potentially get along with.
Yeah, I mean, listen. So, what was your favorite episode of the season?
My favorite episode of the season. I'm trying to think. I really liked when they went to that like architecturally significant house. I just thought it was.
Oh, that house was.
It was amazing. It was just like, it blew my mind. Like that's the one thing that I really will say. I know we like going full circle to what you had mentioned at the beginning of it, when it comes to like showcasing the properties. To me, that's the best part. Like thinking about how these developers construct these properties on the side of these hills, and they look so unassuming when you're driving up to them, right? Like, because the significant portion, or the portion that is so mind-blowing, is built into the side of the hill. When you're driving up to these houses, they look sometimes like they have these shitty little driveways. They look tiny. And then you open the door, and it's essentially like I guess it's the same thing. It's like building into a ravine, right? Where like the slope is going down, and it's like as soon as you walk in, it's just like, it's incredible. So to me, to be able to see how they constructed that property.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing. Like, it was just absolutely amazing.
How do you know what else were actually really nice, are the penthouses that Jason built that he can't sell?
Yeah.
That he can't sell.
The thing is, I don't know if I'd want to live in a penthouse there.
No.
You gotta have the pool.
I mean, and especially at the price, right? Like, you know, at the price, what were they asking for them? Like $5 million for 2,000 square feet or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy some pretty nice houses, obviously, still. And then, but the new office is ridiculous. Like, that place has to be making a ton of money. Like, look at that new office.
Yeah.
That new office is like a nightclub. And you're right. Like, that they can't. But like, here's my whole thing about there being other agents. Like, their old office was tiny. Where were all the other agents working out of?
Bro, no one comes into the office. We know that. Everybody works from home.
I guess so.
Think about it.
I guess, and they're always switching desks and saying, "That's my desk."
Let me give you an example. Okay, I spent half my time in London, half my time in Toronto. I was still the only agent at the Zoocasa office when I worked there.
Ever.
In Toronto. Okay, yeah. 2 hours away. So I think that they probably have mandatory meetings or times where they need to come in that office to film, but to assume that every agent's going to come in the office, like, we know that that's not going to be the case with our team. Like, people want to work from home.
100%.
But yeah, What was your favorite part of the season? Like, what was your favorite moment?
I would say that crazy house, the $100 million house.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because we don't see anything like, you know, we don't see anything like that in Toronto. So to see that, honestly, I was super impressed with all the houses we saw this year.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of sick, like A, architecture, B, like I think like the level of finishes and the different types of design that you see on that show for me is like the coolest part. Cause I feel like in Toronto, there's kind of like the design of the moment, and every new construction or renovated house you go into has the like same sort of thing going on.
Yeah. Similar vibe. So to see like the drastic differences, right? Yeah.
I think I think from that perspective, and just like the architecture of all the different houses, like, you know, getting like more like the classic, taking on like the Mexican, like some Mexican inspiration with the hacienda style, and then, you know, seeing like the uber modern, and then seeing like the big traditional Beverly Hills homes, like seeing that variety all within like one neighborhood is like pretty cool.
Have you watched the agency show though? What's it called? Buying Beverly Hills is what it's
Buying Beverly Hills, yeah.
That one, I feel like that show there is much more representative of true real estate. Like,
100%.
Selling Sunset is an amazing show for like entertainment, and you get to see a couple cool houses here and there. But that other show, I was like, this is much more representative of like what a traditional real estate office looks like. Or, you know, there's one episode where the guy gets 27 offers and he's going through and organizing his offers. And it's like, okay, this is much more representative or reflective of like what we do on a day-to-day basis. It isn't just tossing on nice outfits, driving around in a G-Wagon and showing up to $40 million houses. It's like, hey, you do get 27 offers in a row. How do you organize them? Whatever. But my second point to that is I actually think that they do a better job of showcasing the true real estate in that show. Like, I think they do more property walkthroughs, and like they even showed, you know, the one guy's episode was like a teardown, and like showing you what is reflective of a teardown in these particular neighborhoods.
No, and I as I said before, I agree with you, and I even think Selling OC does a way better job of that. Like if you watch the first season of Selling OC, same thing. It has like Paulie like walking a client through like a house with like secret passageway, holes in the wall, and like pure teardowns. So I think both of those shows show like what realtors do and what it's really like to sell real estate a lot better. Yeah. Whereas like Selling Sunset just showcases fashion and great architecture and then mixes in some drama. I gotta watch this reunion. But like, to be honest, for me, this was probably and I'm a big reality TV buff. I love that's my secret, like, you know, guilty pleasure is reality TV.
What other shows do you watch though?
I watch the trashiest of the trash.
Like, give me some. I like trashy reality TV.
So first off, it's got to be like trashy, like dating focused, and then B, it's got to be UK edition. Because they're way trashier. They think,
really?
Oh yeah. So like, have you ever seen X on the Beach?
No.
Okay, like X on the Beach, and the original ones that were in the UK, they like take place in Spain at like these shitty villas. They're hilarious. And it's like, so the whole premise of X on the Beach is they bring like a bunch of singles together and they think they're there, and then they start bringing in their exes to see if like, yeah. And like sometimes they rekindle, or sometimes the ex just wants to ruin their new relationship, whatever it is, right? It's pretty fucking good. So I recommend that one. And then like Too Hot to Handle. Too Hot to Handle was originally did a UK one as well. Okay. Like I love like Temptation Island and Love Island, all of that type of stuff.
What about Love is Blind? Do you like that one?
So like, I like Love is Blind after the parts in the pods, because like the
pods are brutal, man.
The parts in the pods are so boring.
It's horrible. It's like, it's getting through that is like painful.
So I haven't even watched the new season because it's not worth getting through that piece to me. But that being said, I love trashy TV. For me, that was probably the last season of Selling Sunset I watched.
You think so, eh?
Yeah. I'll watch Selling the OC and I'll watch Buying Beverly Hills. I won't watch Selling Sunset again because, listen, as a producing real estate agent, right, or as someone who's like been a big producer, helps other people produce at a high level, I'm like, why am I putting these people who don't actually sell real estate on a pedestal?
For the drama.
The drama's hilarious, but like, listen, if you watch Selling OC, they actually sell real estate and they still create some good drama. But the drama is more around like screwing each other over in real estate, stealing clients from each other.
Talking
like
to each other's clients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would drive me absolutely mental if someone did that.
But I think that for like the general public, that's a way better depiction of like what we really go through in real estate. And I'd rather watch that because it's like relatable. Like, listen, as a like, you know, middle-aged.
I don't think you're middle-aged. You think you're middle-aged?
Yeah, I'm 42. The average age of death for a man is 78. I'm above middle age. So,
God damn. Yo, when you put it in that perspective, I guess that's the truth. But like, I never looked at you like middle-aged, man.
So for a middle-aged man,
I can't with that.
So for a middle-aged,
a little man.
For a middleman, for a middle-aged man, I can't relate to Selling Sunset. Like, there's nothing that's relatable there, right? Because like, I don't dress like that to go to showings. I'm not showing those type of houses. And to be honest, I sell more real estate than all of them.
It's true.
Right? Not combined, but individually, I sell more real estate than all of them. I've sold way more homes. I've probably had a single year that I've sold more homes than all of them have sold combined in a single year, to be frank. And so I just, and I still will never dress like that, don't drive those cars, and will never be in those types of houses. So I don't find it as relatable, where like Selling the OC is actually very relatable because a lot of the transactions are happening between like $1 million and $5 million, which right. Like for our market, we're spoiled. I know we're spoiled, but it's a lot more relatable. Those are the types of houses I'm in. The types of clients I work with are looking for teardowns. They're looking for renos. They're looking for opportunities. So like, and the drama is based around business. So like, I ran an office of 250 agents before. I've seen that type of drama of like people stealing each other's clients or each other's leads, or like going into somebody else's open house and acting inappropriate, or like being inappropriate at the office party or whatever. Like what happens I just feel like it's more real on Selling the OC and Buying Beverly Hills. So I just relate to it better. So I'd rather watch those.
I know. I hear you on that. There's still just some things where I'm like, if any of this was to happen at our team events, or there would be some fire. So there is a part of me that's like, I totally get where Jason and Brett come from, because it's like, it's adding a little fuel to the fire for the show and it makes things interesting and whatnot. But I have always wondered, if this wasn't publicized on TV, would you actually hold the same standards to your team, or would all these people be fired?
All of them would be fired. You
think so? So you think that they're just tolerable to it solely because of the publicity of TV, and because it obviously adds the juiciness to the show? But if it wasn't publicized on TV, these people would be fired.
100%.
I don't know. You don't think that there's real estate teams out there that allow people to act out of line if they're producers? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, they want the drama to be created.
No, but I'm saying offline, let's say big producing teams that don't have TV shows, and their producers go and they act out a turn at open house or a team event. You don't think that they give them a bit of a pass for being a producer? Like, I know
I've seen producers 100%. I've given producers passes. I've seen producers getting passes. I've seen nepotism at places 100%. Like, there's always a favorite or a family member or someone that's been there forever, or 100%. I don't disagree with you on that at all.
That's my only thing is like, I kind of get where Jason and Brett are coming from. Like, let them run, let them push the boundaries, push the limits a little bit, because this is publicized on TV and obviously it gets viewership and all that kind of 100%. Stuff. But I have always been a person where, like, I hold my bounds. I know there's a certain circumstance or situation we're not going to get into on the podcast, but, like, my thing has always been, if somebody steps at a turn, I have, like, what I would call, like, the board of directors of my life, right? And people from all different shit. Like, my mom doesn't know anything about business, but you bet your ass that she's on my board of directors for my life. Like, if I need to make a decision, I got people from every different aspect where I'm going to take a vote on what they say, and what the majority decision is from the 5 people will be how I make my decision at the end of the day, because I trust their opinion. And so I do the same thing in business. And so somebody that I had hired a while ago did something, and this was a producer on our team. This was somebody who was, like, actually bringing in revenue. And the first thing I did was the next morning call 3 different people, took their opinion, and, like, hey man, if they all said that they would get rid of this person, then I have to go about doing the same thing. But I do think in real estate that sometimes people don't hold their bounds because they just, maybe it's not just real estate, maybe it's just business in general, where you let people slide or you let people get by with things because they're producers. I don't necessarily think that that's the right way to go about it. I just think it's the facts of what actually happens in the industry. So I don't know. I think it's true. But there are times where I'm like, if I was in Jason or Brett's position, I would not want my business to be represented publicly in that I not support. I don't think that they support it. Maybe they do because it's a TV show. But I wouldn't want my business to be publicly represented by people telling each other that they think people are on drugs, or what did she say? That she thinks that she smokes crack or something like that? Like that, I'm like, no, I could never have somebody at my company that accuse somebody of something like that publicly on TV and then just let them get away with it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, but it happens all the time.
Yeah. No, I know. This is what I'm saying is, like, I think real estate is an industry where people let things slide.
Well, it's partially because we're not employees, we're independent contractors, right? So, like, technically we don't have the same, contracts as we would with an employer.
Yeah.
So, it's not an employee-employer relationship. So we don't hold necessarily the same fiduciary duties to our employer that like an employee traditionally would. And I think, I'm not saying it's right, but I think a lot of, like, broker owners or team leaders, et cetera, just use that as an excuse. Be like, well, they're not an employee, so I can't really control that.
I've definitely heard that before. I've definitely heard that.
But yeah, they use that excuse all the time. But the thing is the fact that we're independent contractors means we can also be let go without cause, right? So we can just at any time be told, like, you're not working here anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a negative representation of your brand. And, like, that's the one thing with Selling Sunset that has always been like, ooh, like, if my business was represented in the public eye and, like, the people that worked for my brand, whether they're employees or independent contractors, treated each other this way or acted this way at, a company or corporate event, like, I would not get down with it. I'd be embarrassed by that. Maybe that's why I don't have a TV show. But I just think it's interesting. It's just an interesting topic around how the business is run and what I think potentially people are allowed to do based on the fact that, like, they grow the business.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it just shows you, everyone holds different things important to them at different levels, and money is the most important to some people. And so they'll turn a blind eye or, whatever it is, if it means money.
Yeah.
But anyways, we should wrap this up.
We should wrap it up. While we wrap it up, I'm going to ask the audience that question, though. Drop us a comment and let us know what you think. Do you think that Jason and Brett are too lackadaisical with allowing their staff or their independent contractors to represent their brand in a certain way? Like, do you think that they allow the agents to push the limit and it becomes a negative representation of their brand? Or do you think it's totally fine because it's publicized in a way for viewership and clicks with a TV show? So I'm very curious. Drop your comment below and let us know what your thoughts are.
Well, that was exciting. That was fun.
You got to go watch the reunion now.
Oh, I'm going to watch the reunion tonight. I have to.
That's awesome, man. All right. Well, we would love your comments below, and we will definitely do some more of these reactionary or feedback style podcasts because I had a lot of fun with this one.
Always.
All right. We will see you guys next week.